Hello, people. This is Ross, or Harry, as I prefer to be called nowadays. And this is going to be my first attempt to do a Transformers review. We'll see how it goes, I suppose. But, yeah. As the results of the poll dictated, this is a Legacy Transmetal 2 Megatron. But I think for the setup of these videos, what we're going to do is for the general setup of these videos, what I'm going to be doing is basically I'm going to give my overall thoughts of the figure before the actual review so that people don't have to sit through a whole review if they don't want to. And then I'll go in depth on what I like, what I dislike. Yeah. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this is Legacy Transmetal 2 Megatron. What do I think overall? I think overall that this is a really good figure and definitely worth a pickup. Due to the fact that we're probably never going to get another figure like this in this scale. What I mean by that is we're probably never going to get another version of Transmetal 2 Megatron. I would be shocked if we got a Cryotech at some point, though I wouldn't be against it either. I really want a Cryotech because I love the big blue dragon motif. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. Overall, I think he's a pretty good figure. 8.5 out of 10. Now, let's get into the actual review part of this video. Transmetal 2 Megatron is one of those figures where you're either gonna love it with a passion or hate it with a passion. My time on Twitter has taught me that much. Where do I fall on that spectrum? I really like it. It has a few flaws that I don't like, but I really like it overall. Though, before we can get to the positives, let's get to those flaws. Shall we? My first major flaw, this figure has no wrist. When it really needs it, it needs wrists. Because, well, I mean, it's a leader class figure. I don't think it's too outlandish to ask for wrist swivels. Hell, ancient-ass Studio Series figures hers have wrist swivels, especially since they were leader class. I don't even like this figure that much, but it has wrists alright. As for other flaws, let's get to the obvious. The face sculpt. What do I think of the face sculpt? I think that it's a nice face sculpt. But I 100% understand where other people are coming from saying that they don't like it so much. Like, I totally get it. It's not Megatron from the show in the slightest. It makes total sense why people criticize this in particular. Would I preferred it if we got a more G1 inspired Megatron face sculpt? And yes, Hess Beast Wars does count as G1. No, really, I really wouldn't, because this face sculpt is beautiful. He's so deliciously evil. I just don't like about the design in general is that how his claws are part of his chest, and it looks like he's ripping through his own chest. And this is not a flaw of a figure. It's just my ADHD not liking things I'm not particularly fond of is the only way to get the dragon head forward is like this. There's no elbow. Which I understand why there isn't, but it severely limits the articulation you can get out of the dragon head in this mode. And on the topic of the dragon head, the mouth does not open enough, in my opinion. It should be able to open more, and the 5mm port in there, it's at such a weird angle that every time you put a blast effect in there, like the one he comes with, if you were to put a blast effect in there, it's in there at an angle, and it's super unsightly, and I don't like it. I would prefer if it came straight out of there at a straight angle. For my final and easily least favorite thing about this figure is how the head is kept in place. And for that, we're going to have to move. As you can see, the head is held on by this super long armature, which wouldn't be a problem, except the entire dragon chest is hanging off of the back of it, and it's super easy to just pop the head off when I'm swiveling it. This needed some stronger tabs in my opinion. Criticism, honorable mention, because this is not this figure's fault in the slightest, and it is a fault of the design. I just don't like the asymmetrical. On to the positives now, shall we? This figure, from head to toe, is stunning. It is easily the tallest leader in my collection, and it is easily the best painted figure in my collection. The articulation is so good. He has such a shelf presence. So he comes with a flame effect, but in this mode they try to pass it off as a sword, and who gives a shit? Let's get to the really good stuff with this figure. The alt mode. Wow, it's like magic. He's a dragon now. Isn't that awesome? So, what do I think about this alt mode? I think that oh my god, oh my god. Mode is fabulous and I wouldn't change a thing about it. Okay, well, it's not entirely true. I need to admit that there's some things about this mode that I'm not 100% head over heels in love with. Like, for example, I think the horn should be bigger. Instead of looking like there's a new chest for a dragon mode, he looks like he's wearing a t-shirt kind of loose. The claws really needed some better articulation. The legs love to come out of where they're supposed to be tabbed in. Now, I do have plenty of other flaws that I could go into if I were such a petty asshole that I felt like pointing out everything wrong with everything ever, but I'm not going to do that because this review does not need that extra filler. Oh boy, I am depressed. Also, this is something I kind of forgot to mention. This figure's technically not mine. It's on loan from one of my siblings. So there, I hope you're happy with your shout out. So overall, what do I think? I think the dragon mode is really good, even if it has a couple nitpicks that I'm not a huge fan of. I think the robot mode is also really good, but it has a few more flaws than I think a lot of people are willing to admit. But anyways, this has been Harry. I appreciate likes and subscribes. Though I'm not going to show you a chart showing you how few subscribers I have compared to my watchers. So, yeah. Bye, I guess. I don't know.